The history of surnames is the link between individuals throughout the time and the history of the safer property of the family. Every surname in the world has a significance and a history. 5,000 years ago, in China, under the rule of the legendary emperor Fuxi, surnames became mandatory for the population. These surnames were inherited from their mothers. They are called matronymics. And also, they were not last names, but upper names. In a personal name, still today, the surname is written first, before the given name. In 1500 before Christ, under the Shang dynasty, surnames started to be inherited from their fathers, and they became patronymics. The surname, as a family name, makes its first appearance in the old Roman society. At the ancient Rome, there was a convention of names for Roman citizens called tria nomina, composed by 3 names and sometimes by 4. The prenomen was the first or given name. The nomen was the name of the gens or clan where the families belonged. The cognomen was the name of the family within the gens. And sometimes the agnomen, a personal nickname, was added to the official name. As, for instance, the name of this Roman general, Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus. Publius is the prenomen or first name. Cornelius is the nomen or the name of the gens. Scipio is the cognomen or the name of the family. And Africanus is a nickname for defeating Hannibal in the Second Punic War at North Africa. Roman women usually had no first name and were known by the feminine form of their father or mother's nomen or cognomen. To difference mother and daughter, they used nicknames like major or minor. In 410 AD, Alaric, king of the Visigoths, invaded and sacked Rome. It was the beginning of the collapse of the vast Roman Empire. After that, next centuries were called the Middle Ages. Western Europe achieved a new complete civilization of its own. With new kings, castles, and with the Church as responsible of the spiritual life of all Christendom. In this new society, the Roman convention of surnames was forgotten and abandoned. Only the nobility had some family names. Common people had only a first or given name. The Domesday Book, a survey of the land held by William the Conqueror in England at the 11th century, is one of the most important testimonies we have today about how the names were used by the people at that time. We can observe on there some primitive forms of surnames. It took about 700 years to achieve that common people could have surnames added to their first names. At the 12th century, European population grew in an unexpected way. It was necessary in consequence to identify each one of the people who shared the same first name. Even notaries required to sign contracts with first and last names, just to properly identify who was who in inheritances and legacies. It was usual at that time to call somebody Jack the Miller, or Henry the Long, or Frederick Stephen's son. In 1538, Thomas Cromwell, as Vicar General of the King Henry VIII, ordered that each parish must keep a book with records of names of those who had been baptized, married, or buried. It was the official birth of last names in England. In 1539, in France, l'Ordonnance de Villers-Cotterêts was promulgated by the King Francis I. Priests were required to keep detailed records of baptisms, marriages, and burials. It was the legal birth for surnames in France. In 1564, at the Council of Lateran in Rome, to keep detailed records of all baptisms, marriages, and burials was established as an universal rule for all parishes in every European country. It was the legal birth for surnames in all Western Europe.